He crash-landed on the Amazon planet with a violent roar, his ship tearing through the dense atmosphere and smashing into the jungle below. Trees splintered, fires erupted, and a thick cloud of smoke curled into the darkening sky. When he finally crawled out of the wreckage, his armor scorched and visor cracked, he took a deep breath, fighting both pain and panic. The jungle around him was alive with strange sounds, the distant roar of creatures, the rustle of enormous leaves, and an eerie, pulsing glow from plants that seemed almost sentient. He barely had time to take in his surroundings before shadows emerged from the foliage. Towering figures moved with fluid grace, their muscles taut beneath ceremonial paint, and armor glinting faintly in the fading light. At their center stood a woman whose presence made the air itself seem to tense. The chief of the Amazon warriors. Her amber eyes burned with ancient knowledge, her scarred face unmoving as she regarded him. "Finally, you have arrived," she said, her voice steady yet commanding, carrying a weight that made him instinctively stand taller despite the adrenaline still coursing through his veins. He swallowed hard. Who are you?" Her lips curved in a hint of a smile. "We are the guardians of this world. And we have waited 200 years for you." 200 years. The words hung in the air, impossible and yet undeniable. I don't understand," he whispered, his mind racing to reconcile his reality with what she had just said. The chief did not move her gaze. "Impossible is merely a matter of perspective. You are the one destined to begin the hunt." He glanced around at the surrounding warriors, their weapons glinting with anticipation. "The hunt? I don't know what you mean." A soft sound cut through the tension, and a figure stepped forward from the shadows, the alien princess, radiant and ethereal, her armor decorated with green and gold, eyes glowing faintly as she studied him. "Mother, he is the one," she said simply. The chief nodded. "Yes. He has come to our world and now, the hunt begins." He clenched a piece of twisted metal from his ship, gripping it like a lifeline. "The hunt, for what?" "You will understand in time," the chief said, her voice leaving no room for argument. "Follow me, human. You need to see, you need to learn, before the hunt can begin." He had no choice but to follow. The jungle path before him was alive, vines shifting as if breathing, the strange hum of glowing plants, the distant cries of unseen beasts. His heart pounded, each step echoing in the thick air. "I should have stayed in orbit," he muttered under his breath. The alien princess walked beside him silently, the faintest smile on her lips. "There is no staying safe here," she said softly. "Not for long." He shot her a look of disbelief. "You speak my language?" "We have waited centuries for someone like you," she said. "Someone strong enough to survive what comes next." He laughed bitterly. "I can barely survive this crash." The chief's eyes gleamed dangerously. "Survival is only the first lesson. You will need more than that." Eventually, they reached a massive stone gate carved into a cliff face, ancient and overgrown but still radiating power. The chief pressed her hand to the runes etched into its surface, and the stone door groaned open, revealing a sprawling arena at the heart of the jungle. The air hummed with anticipation, the whispers of centuries echoing through the stone. "This is where it begins," the chief said. "Tomorrow, you will take your first steps into the hunt." He stared at the arena, a mix of awe and dread swelling inside him. "I fight. Against whom?" "The hunt is not just against others," the chief said, her voice low, almost a whisper of warning. "It is against your own limits, your own fears. Only by surviving the trials will you earn the right to live in this world." The alien princess leaned closer, her eyes softening, but her words held an edge he couldn't ignore. "And even if you survive, human, some hunts leave more than scars." Above them, the blood-red moon rose over the jungle, casting long, ominous shadows. The planet itself seemed to watch him, alive and aware. He swallowed, gripping his makeshift weapon. 200 years, they waited for me. Whatever this hunt is, I won't fail. That night, he barely slept. The sounds of the jungle were a constant reminder that he was not alone. Somewhere in the shadows, creatures moved that defied his understanding. The glow of distant eyes seemed to follow him, and the whispers of the past centuries echoed in his mind. By dawn, the chief called him to the center of the arena. Warriors lined the edges, their bodies taut and ready, bows and blades gleaming. The alien princess stood to the side, her gaze unwavering. "You will begin with the trial of strength," the chief said. "Your opponent is not a person, human, but the land itself. Survive, and you may prove your worth." Before he could react, massive vines erupted from the ground, twisting and striking with a speed that forced him to dodge and roll. The arena was alive, and the ground seemed to have a mind of its own. He swung his makeshift weapon, cutting through the vines, but for every one he destroyed, two more seemed to rise. Hours passed, each moment a battle against exhaustion, fear, and the relentless jungle. The alien princess watched silently, occasionally stepping forward to redirect him, offering cryptic advice. "The hunt tests not just your strength, but your perception. Watch, anticipate, and do not let the fear control you." By midday, his body was battered, cuts and bruises covering him. Yet he pressed on, moving with instinct and determination. Finally, he reached the heart of the arena, where a glowing crystal pulsed with an otherworldly light. He touched it, and the vines halted, retreating into the ground as if acknowledging his victory. The warriors erupted in a low chant of approval. The chief's expression was unreadable, but there was a glimmer of respect in her amber eyes. The alien princess approached him, a faint smile on her lips. "You survived the first trial," she said. "But remember, this is only the beginning. The true hunt tests more than the body." He nodded, exhaustion and adrenaline warring within him. "I understand. I'm ready for whatever comes next." The chief's voice echoed through the arena. "Rest, human. Tomorrow the trial of mind awaits. And you will learn that lies, deceit, and courage are just as deadly as any blade." He looked at the alien princess, sensing in her eyes both warning and intrigue. The hunt had only begun, but he already knew one thing: surviving this world would require every ounce of skill, cunning, and determination he possessed. The morning sun filtered through the thick jungle canopy, casting mottled patterns of light and shadow across the arena. He awoke to the low hum of the jungle, still aching from the trial of strength. Every muscle in his body protested with each movement, but there was no time to rest. The chief's voice carried across the arena even before she appeared in person. "Human," she called, her tone echoing through the trees, "today begins the trial of mind. Only by seeing through lies, deception, and illusion will you survive." He rose, brushing dirt and leaves from his armor, his mind already racing. The alien princess emerged from the shadows, her eyes studying him with an inscrutable expression. "Be careful," she warned softly. "This trial is not about physical strength. The jungle, the warriors, even I may not be what I seem." He frowned. "You might be lying to me." The jungle seemed to respond, twisting and shifting again. This time, the alien princess appeared, though her form shimmered and multiplied, each version whispering different truths, half-lies and riddles. "Who are you?" he demanded. "Who do you trust?" she asked, her multiple forms circling him. "Do you trust yourself? Or do you trust what you see?" He realized the answer was neither. Trust was not given, it had to be earned, even in himself. He took a deep breath, focusing on the core of the jungle's energy that had guided him yesterday. "I trust the land itself," he said aloud. "I trust its patterns, its pulse. Not the illusions." The illusions quivered, then dissolved completely. The fog lifted, leaving the arena eerily quiet. The warriors lining the edges of the clearing nodded in respect. Even the chief's stoic expression softened, just enough for him to sense approval. "You have learned the first lesson of the mind," she said. "Perception is more dangerous than any weapon. Lies will strike before swords. Remember this, human." The alien princess stepped closer, placing a hand lightly on his shoulder. "And yet, even the mind cannot protect you from all truths. Some are sharp enough to pierce the heart. He frowned. What do you mean? She gave a fleeting smile and turned away, vanishing into the jungle shadows. He felt a twinge of unease. There was something she was not telling him, some secret hidden beneath her calm exterior. Dawn broke over the dense jungle, filtering through the canopy in shafts of golden light. The arena had emptied overnight, leaving only traces of his struggle, torn leaves, broken branches, and the faint, lingering hum of the jungle's energy. He rose stiffly, muscles screaming in protest, and made his way toward the central plaza where the chief awaited. Today, she had promised, would test more than his strength or mind, it would test his loyalty. The alien princess appeared first, her presence a quiet reassurance, though he sensed the tension beneath her calm demeanor. The trial of loyalty is not about obedience, she warned. It is about choice, sacrifice, and the cost of trust. One misstep can doom not only you but those who place their faith in you. He frowned, gripping his weapon tightly. So it's a moral test. Against people. Her smile was faint, enigmatic. Against everyone and yourself. Your decisions will echo further than you imagine. At the center of the plaza, the massive gate swung open to reveal the rulers of the Amazon planet. The Amazon queen, regal and imposing, stepped forward, her armor glinting in the morning light. Beside her stood the Amazon king, taller, with an aura of calm authority that seemed to command even the jungle itself. Both were adorned in ceremonial paint and insignias that marked centuries of lineage and power. You have survived the first trials, the queen said, her voice resonating like a bell. But now we test your heart. The hunt is not merely for survival, it is for allegiance, for the future of our people. The king stepped closer, his gaze fixed on him with piercing intensity. Before you lies a choice. Aid the tribe that has waited 2 centuries for you, or betray them and claim a different path. Your actions will define your place here, human. He swallowed hard, every instinct screaming at him to hesitate. Trust had been fragile in the jungle, and the illusions of the previous day had shown him how easily perception. He exhaled slowly, forcing clarity into his mind. The choice was clear. The loyal warrior, he said firmly. He dashed forward, breaking the ropes binding the young Amazon. With precise movements, he neutralized the rogue, who fought fiercely but could not match his resolve. The queen nodded solemnly. You understand loyalty, she said. But remember, trust comes with its own dangers. The jungle will tempt, deceive, and punish those who falter. The alien princess stepped forward, placing a hand lightly on his shoulder. You made the right choice, she said softly. But the path ahead is darker than you imagine. Alliances will fracture. Lies will multiply. And sometimes, loyalty demands a cost heavier than any wound. He nodded, though unease settled in his chest. Even with success, he knew the jungle's trials were far from over. The sun barely peeked over the horizon, casting long shadows across the arena, as he prepared for the final trial. Exhaustion weighed heavily on his body, but his mind was sharper than ever. He had survived the trial of strength, the trial of mind, and the trial of loyalty, each leaving marks on his body and spirit. Today, the final trial awaited, the ultimate test where courage, perception, and loyalty would collide. The Amazon queen and king appeared at the center of the arena, their presence commanding immediate respect. The warriors behind them held their positions, silent, eyes fixed. The jungle itself seemed to quiet in anticipation, as if holding its breath. You have proven yourself in ways few could, the queen began, her voice echoing through the clearing. But the hunt is not over. The final trial is both simple and cruel. You must choose the fate of this world, its people, and the alien princess who has guided you. He felt his heart tighten. Choice had always been a part of the trials, but the stakes were now impossibly high. One wrong decision could doom the tribe, the jungle, or himself. The alien princess stepped forward, he